Distinguished AUA President, Dr. Bogosian, Dr. Amikanian, distinguished participants, professors, and students. Well, it's a great pleasure for me to take part in this important event at your university and to address this esteemed audience on behalf of UNDP. You have understood that I've been in your country only for a few weeks, and I'm coming from far away because for the last 3 years I was in India and other countries. And I do hope that you will take my introductory remarks as just a food for thought intended to at triggering discussions on finding a balance between economic growth, social equity, environmental security, and poverty challenges within the general context of sustainable development in Armenia. Dr. Bogosian has already covered a lot of ground, so I'm wondering if I should continue, because definitely we have covered so many points that I'm wondering if I will be providing added value to what you have already said. But I would like to share with you a few thoughts regarding what I have already witnessed in Armenia and the assessment which has been made by UNDP. It is recognized that current global challenges such as high unemployment, persistent poverty, social exclusion, depletion of and degradation of natural capital, and continuous high levels of environmental pollution are among development challenges in Armenia. Lessons should be learned from the recent economic crisis and its impact that your country has been facing. Armenia was harshly hit by the global crisis and recorded a profound economic decline. After a period of double-digit economic growth between 2001 and 2007, the GDP dropped by more than 14% in 2009. It is obvious that the economic decline largely affected the poverty alleviation process, and it was reported that 35% of the population was poor at the end of 2011. The government's policy of the crisis mitigation yielded the desired results, carried on structural reforms, and promoted fiscal stability and ensured revival of the economic growth. However, most of budgetary reallocation predominantly derive from the existing concept of governmental investments toward fighting consequences rather than the causes of the problems. And I would say that it is not unique to Armenia, because this would apply to many other countries in the world. According to the national agenda, the mining sector is a key priority for the economic growth. However, public debates of recent years in relation to this sector manifested that the role and efficiency of the existing mining practices in economic growth and social development of Armenia should definitely be increased. Therefore, in order to become more resilient to external and internal fluctuations, the long-term sustainable development agenda has to prevail over short-term economic and social gains. It is also evident that the current model of economic development in Armenia, which often results in overexploitation and degradation of natural capital, combined with the need of economic diversification, constitute a challenge for ensuring sustainable economic development and social equity. It is therefore important to come up with novel thinking and new development paradigm. Introduction of innovative economic instruments into environment and social policy making process is one of the thrusts of UNDP activities. In our opinion, consideration on environmental and social externalities through introduction of the concept of ecosystem services in national planning, regulatory and assessment frameworks is one of the missing pillars for evidence-based decision-making. We are also sure that application of the precautionary and polluters pay principles, as well as greater involvement of the local communities in decision-making cycles related to mines and post-mining, after the closing of the mines, operations will stimulate formulation of more socially responsible behavior among the major stakeholders. So I'm confident that today's discussion is going to produce practical recommendations to equip decision makers and stakeholders with new approaches for integrated decisions making, benefiting all segments of the society. So I wish you all of you, a successful debate, and of course I will be looking forward to having the outcome of your conclusions. Thank you very much for your attention, and again, thank you very much for inviting me.